Hello and welcome to Stuff Time. Today is Candle Day. What is Candle Day? Well, it is the day that I take all of the candles that I've burned in the past 8 months and I melt all the wax out of them and pour new candles for the new year. So what might you need for this endeavor? You will need something to pour your candles into. In my case, I have a bunch of old candles and old canisters. I even have some mugs. Wax flakes, I bought these online. I will link where you can get everything in the description box below. Some sort of double boiler system. Today I'm working with a pot on a hot plate, but you can do this on the stove, and a metal thing that I put in the water. The wicks in which you desire to use. I have some regular wicks here, as well as some wooden wick options. I've got these little X ones. In my experience with wood wicks, you'll want to get these little X versions or some really nice single stem wood wicks. Some scents. You can use essential oils, but I have purchased some fragrance oils specifically for candles. I have a couple here. Super glue for your wicks, a thermometer. Some optional but good things to have are some candle wax colors and a wick trimmer. To get your containers clean, we will need to melt the wax out of there. The way that I do it is I put them in a pan surrounded by hot water so it melts inside there. And then we're just gonna do our first batch with a little bit of all of the leftovers. So I'm gonna pour all that excess wax right into here as we clean them out. So I've got some hot water standing by. So I'm just going to put these guys in here. So we're just gonna pour this on the outside. Wax and water do not mix well. Try not to get water inside of the candle. As you can see, some of this is already melting. So we're just gonna let this do its thing. It should be done in a couple minutes, and I'm gonna find something to put these guys in. This is the point in the process where you can hold your cat and wait for the wax to melt. All right, these candles have been sitting here for a little bit. You'll want to, one by one, take these out, pour the wax out, get the wick out, and wipe out as much excess wax that's in the candle as possible, and clean them with soap and water and dry them completely. All right, there's a big chunk of wax. It's going in. And if there are any big chunks of burnt wick or anything, I'll try not to include that. You'll also need to get the wick out of the bottom. I use my nail. You can use whatever you'd like. Ta-da, it's out. All right, I've got all of my candle containers clean, and now making sure that they are dry. We will first want to go ahead and heat up our stove, and this is all the wax that I got out of the candles. I'm going to go ahead and let that warm up while I glue some wicks in. Here's the best super glue, Gorilla Super Glue. It's got these little buttons on it so it doesn't dry out. It's amazing. Okay. I'm gonna glue these down. Keep in mind you kind of want to be precise about it. Let's do the rest. We got a lot to do. So I've got all of my wicks in. I'm now taking a look at my wax over here. These are all the leftovers. Again, you don't want to get any of this water from the double boiler into the candle. So we're just gonna make sure there's no little drips. There you go. As you can see, the wick is falling. So what we're gonna do is take 2 little skewers, and if you are like, Stephanie, I didn't save any candles, I just want to know how to pour a candle from start to finish. Start watching now. We are going to take our soy wax flakes. We are going to pour as much as we want. So we're gonna let that melt, and we're gonna get this up to 185 degrees. We don't want it to be hotter than that because these scents can burn off. And you're going to want to add 1 fluid ounce per pound you're using. So this was 2 pounds. It may seem like a lot of fragrance to use. I've been very conservative with my scents in the past, and then it just kind of smells like nothing. So I would definitely recommend being liberal with your scents if you like smelly candles. And at the same time you add in your smells, you can add in your colors. I think I'm gonna go for like a brown and then a green. All right, we've got it to 185 degrees. I'm gonna cut the heat a little bit. All right, I'm gonna cut a little slice of this to toss in there. It's like a little piece of chocolate. Let that mix in there. I'm also gonna throw a little bit of this yellow and red and orange. And this one's going to be the teak wood and tobacco. I don't even know if I have any more of this tobacco, but whatever's left is going in. And big ol' 3 drops. Cool, smells so good. Smelling good. I'm gonna add a little bit of leather. Now that everything has been mixed, I'm gonna let it cool to like 145 for pouring. You know what? I'm gonna do this tempering chocolate style by adding just a little bit of seed wax. Which just means it helps it cool down faster. And we'll get a little bit more out of this batch. I'm gonna go set these candles up over here to cool. I've just poured all of the teak wood candles, and now we are going to do the exact same thing for our pine candles. All right, as you can see, I've got all of my candles cooling. So I will check in back with you guys tomorrow when these are cooled. We can cut the wicks and possibly even burn one. So yeah, see you guys in a minute. Hello, it is the next day. The candles have all cooled and set, and they are looking fantastic. The colors turned out really lovely. It was kind of cool to play around with the colors with each batch and each new scent. And all we have to do is cut the wicks. For normal wicks, you can use a wick cutter. And for these wood wicks, you can use scissors. Just want to make sure they're about 1/4 of an inch from the top of the wax. And you also, if you plan on putting a lid on these, make sure that the lid fits over them. Wood wicks are a little bit more difficult to cut, so I would suggest that you cut these to height beforehand, but like I said, I didn't. So we're cutting them now. If it is like, if you have a hard time getting to the actual wick when you're cutting it, I have before just like cut a little V. All right, well that is all for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed and I hope that you learned something. I hope that this inspires you to upcycle candles that you've purchased, or perhaps just make candles for your own enjoyment or for a gift. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment below what you'd like to see from me next, and subscribe if you're not already. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Alex, you fixing the toilet?
Fixing the toilet. You're a repairman.
Nice. This is the fun part.